What's going on, y'all? What's going on, Frankmeisters? Got some visitors today. We got Miss Scarlet Letter and Ruckus with us tonight, guys. What's going on? Ruckus,
What's up,
Scarlet,
brother? What's up, brother? I
take
was
your
waiting,
mic off
ladies
there,
first.
Smart. Scarlet, where's your mic? You're on mute. She walked away from the computer again.
Yeah, I was waiting, ladies first. You know how that is.
Well, I had her and a couple other people wanted me to go live tonight and talk about Mr. Tobin and the bullet and and I was like, all right, we'll do this.
I'm
Get it
down
up.
with you.
Yeah,
I'm down with you, my brother.
because these defense, I call them scarecrows, and I'm sure you know why I call them scarecrows.
Yeah.
Because of the Wizard of Oz, Scarecrow didn't have a brain.
Yeah. Well, the defense team themselves are doing their job.
Right.
I'm not mad at them at all. At all.
Yeah, but I mean, just some of these people that follow them are taking what they're doing and twisting everything. It's just like, man, you guys ain't got no damn common sense whatsoever. There's Scarlett. What's going on, young lady? Hello.
Scarlet.
Scarlett. You're just going to sit there and listen or what?
You know, the defense experts are getting thinner and thinner.
Oh, yeah. Let's give a shout out to some people here in the chat real quick. We got Witchcraft. We got Denise. Hold on. Remove. She came in twice. Kick from studio. Kick.
Now, if you hear any yelling, that's my buddy Walker, and that means that Bama scored on the dog.
All right. Can you hear me, Scarlett? There's something wrong with your mic, girl. Back out and come back in again.
If I had a nickel every time I heard that.
Right. Then we got Miranda Lee. We got Linda Harders, Maureen, Julie, James Cope, Junior Johnson, Joe Newman, Linda Harders, Miss Susie, Nana. There she is. I heard it. GP, Jamie Hicks, Lisa, Rescue All Dogs. I'm surprised you're not out on a date tonight. Heather Marie, good to see you.
Are we good?
Yep, we're good. There you are.
Scarlett, I hear you.
Cindy,
all right,
Lisa,
good.
Beverly. Queen, what's going on? Now, people be questioning about Mr. Tobin.
AKA me.
You're not the only one. I see people in the Facebook groups complaining about, well, why did Nick pay $5,000? That's just the way the game works, guys. They're going to pay the dude the money to get a deposition. And once the deposition's over, they'll go through the deposition and pick out things that are off the wall to them. And they start researching this guy. And I believe this is what Nick did. He started figuring out that this guy didn't know what the hell he was talking about through the deposition. So he did a little bit of work on this guy and found out he wasn't an actual fucking expert in firearms at all.
But you know that he, I think tried to testify in the trial that Baldwin and Hennessy just did, right?
Yeah. Yep. That case is, hold on, I got it right here. Give me a second. It's Cody something. Hold on. Yeah, Caden Smith versus Indiana versus Caden Smith is the case you're talking about.
Right.
I mean, to me, like I said, I think McClellan did his homework after the fact and realized what this guy was really about. He was just trying to make money. To me, the guy told him a fake. He told him a lie, said he was an expert to get that $5,000. That's just my opinion. And then you got to realize also, too, Scarlett, is that the defense team did the same thing. They were paying these certain experts, and if they didn't like what they hear, they cut them loose. And you got to go back a little while. The defense was filing motions to get more money from more experts.
Yeah, define experts.
Exactly. What is an expert?
100% agree. I guess my thing is, why are we paying this man $5,000 before we even vet him? You know, and so like I guess like I was just really confused about why he was paid, and all of a sudden the defense is calling him, but it seems like this man is used for at least kind of like a recycled expert, I would say, in a way, for Baldwin.
Right.
Now he is considered an expert, but
But
Well, not an expert, because the judge in Allen County denied him as well in the Caden Smith trial. But so it's like this person that Baldwin is kind of like recycling, but why was the state paying him?
well, the
like I
thing is,
said, they're
an
gonna.
expert can be an expert in one case and not in another.
But the
So
judge denied him in Allen County. That
That
judge did
was
not allow it even for Baldwin's trial.
and I agree. I agree with you 100%. But he could be allowed in a different county.
Eh,
It depends on the evidence.
that's true. That's true. I know what you mean
Yeah,
now. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, for him to claim that he's a firearms expert was a lot of hogwash, because we end up finding out he's actually an expert in metals.
Right. I don't think
I
he
mean, what
actually
the hell?
claimed that, though.
That's far from being a firearms expert. I
I
mean,
don't
come
think that
on.
he necessarily claimed that. I think that was the defense claiming that.
Well, I mean, if you're going to allow the person to hire you to push that narrative that you're an expert, and it comes out that you're not an expert, I wouldn't want to show my face in another trial. Honestly, I
No,
wouldn't.
I'd be embarrassed, but that's just me.
What about you, Ruckus? What do you think about that?
Say that again. I apologize. Go ahead.
If I was called out by a judge telling me, no, you're not an expert in this specific field, would you as a person want to show your face in the courtroom again, knowing that this is on record?
Well, it depends. We don't know. From what I understand, he hasn't had control of the evidence. He hasn't tested the evidence.
He hasn't even seen the evidence.
Right. So no, unless he is actually seen the exact evidence from this case, to me, he's not.
Well, he has said that he has seen enough so that he can render an opinion, is what was put in the
Right.
filing, right?
And I agree with that. I mean,
But
a
then
ballistic
what did he
expert is
see?
a ballistics expert. So if he's seen what the state's ballistic expert came up with, well, then he could form somewhat of an opinion, but without testing it against the actual weapon and ejecting it and testing the tool marks,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he could be an expert in this case.
So can I interrupt you just for a second? Or
Yes, please.
so the defense has, because Nick had put in the filing. I don't know that I can actually pull it up right now, since I'm on whatever this link is. But Nick had put in the filing that basically the defense has a ballistics expert, okay, and so he's like, why not use them? So there has to be a reason they want Mr. Tobin. It has to, I mean, but why? If he's a metal expert, I mean, whatever. But if they already have a ballistics expert, I don't think that they would be using him for ballistics. But maybe I'm wrong.
They're
Well,
going to use an expert from the Indiana State Police Forensic Lab is what they're going to do.
well,
Is what
the
the
thing
state will
is,
do.
this is really not ballistics.
Not at all. It's not a fired weapon. It's not a fired bullet. It's
Yeah,
not
this
right.
is tool marks.
Correct.
But
Yes.
what we
Well,
don't
yes.
know, is if it was a squib load. Is
A
there
what?
a squib load? Um, a round that was in the chamber and the primer didn't fire. That's a squib load.
Okay.
It would be
Okay.
it would be ejected and another round would go in. It would have the same ejection mark.
Mm.
But we don't know, and it's called a BM. When the bullet is fired, it goes back against the firing pin, and it leaves a mark, and it also leaves striations from the back right around the firing pin. So
There's a
that
claw when they when you retracting a round out of the chamber, you're pulling the slide back. There is a claw that grabs the end of the bullet and it pulls it out of the chamber and ejects it out to the side. There's where the marks are going to be at. Is from that claw that grabs the bullet as you're ejecting it out.
Can
and
you say
also
that
from
word?
the
Sorry, can you
ejection
say
pin.
that word one more? Squib what?
Squidward,
A
Squib,
Squidward?
a squib round.
A
squib
squib.
That's
round.
where the firing pin hits the primer, but it does not explode.
Okay, so
So
is that a malfunction?
yes,
How do they
yes.
replicate that then in the lab where they've been able to compare them then under the the microscope, the side by side?
Well, that's why in the lab they may fire a round or two. A squib load, as far as the casing goes, there's no difference.
Mm-hmm.
There's no difference. A squib load, as far as the projectile goes, there's a huge difference. The projectile did not fire because the primer did not ignite.
And if she did, what he means by primer did ignite inside the casing where the bullet is actually at, there, it's full of gunpowder. And when the firing pin hits the back of that bullet, it causes a spark to ignite that gunpowder to shoot the round out.
Exactly. That's why
So
you have the firing pin. The
right, so
firing
it can be
pin,
replicated in the lab to show that those marks are the same.
Yes.
right. And now, from what I understand, the lab fired a couple rounds to test. Now, the ejection marks will be no different. But if it was a squib load, if it hit that primer cap and it did not explode and the round didn't go through, that means he tried to shoot it, it cycled, and the round came out. We don't know if that's the case or not, though.
Kind of seems that he doesn't. I mean, just simply because of the, I don't know, things that we've heard, like him saying, kind of just wish, he had shot him and been done. But I don't know, like, I don't think that, I think that the gun was used as a control kind of thing and not,
I agree.
yeah.
I
I
agree
agree.
also.
And now, for
Uh,
people that don't know what BM is, that's breach mark. That's like a
I know.
fingerprint. When that round goes up into the chamber, okay, say you shoot a round, it ejects, the next round goes in. And when it's set back against the back of the weapon, that's the breech mark. So there's tooling marks around the firing pin. That's called the BM, the breech
Mm-hmm.
mark. So that's like a fingerprint.
Okay.
Mike Ursay says, does anyone think there'll be any additional arrests related to Delphi? My opinion, as far as somebody being there with Richard Allen, I am going to lean no. But I do believe there's possibly some people that could get charged for obstruction after the fact, as far as people interfering in the case.
Who do you think, though?
Well, there's several creators that have interfered in this case.
Well, yes. Yes. Okay. I mean,
So
yeah.
that's what I mean.
Okay. I guess I was just more so like thinking of the crime itself.
Let's get some questions before we move on. Gambies, how long ago was this he considered not an expert? Because if he has been a while and he has more experience, he could be considered an expert now. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know much about this guy whatsoever. All I know is it's apparent that Nick was not happy with him for some reason. We don't know what the reasoning is, and he cut him loose. Apparently, that's how I feel about it. Get in the chat. Gibbo says, but he's saying he's questioning the method, not the evidence. Well, I mean, if you ain't got no experience in the lab doing this kind of work, you shouldn't even be talking about it, period. That's just the way I look at it. James Cope, for someone to be considered an expert in this particular case, they'd have to be experienced in firearms, but also machining and tooling, not ballistics.
Now, that's not true.
Go
Not true. That's not true. Ballistics are a whole different thing. You're talking about metal that's exposed to an explosion. So it's just not a metallurgist or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It has to be a ballistics expert. So that breech mark, when the firing pin strikes the primer and it explodes, it pushes that round up against
The
the
barrel.
breech. No, the breech.
Oh, you
Where
mean
the
the
firing pin
casing?
comes out.
You mean the casing
Yeah.
itself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything else goes down the tube. Now, when you're talking about a fired round, they can match it by the barrel, by the striations on the barrel. So if the round did not go off, we don't know if this was a breech round or if he used the gun or whatever weapon he used for control, right? He may have racked it twice by mistake. He may have racked it on the bridge, which loaded around into the breech, and then he may have racked it again at the
And
scene.
and didn't even realize he had racked it up on the bridge.
Right. Well, we're talking, a lot of adrenaline going, but we don't know
Yeah.
that. We'll all find out soon
There goes
enough.
Blade.
Oh.
Oh, now hers is going at it.
Stop. You're good.
Let's see. Rescue says that Tobin was there to speak to the science, not the bullet. Well, how would you know about the
here's the
science
thing.
if he's never done any of the experiments?
Well, here's the thing, and I just want to say this: they found that round that fucking day.
That's another thing I was going to bring up because I saw some people talking about it in the damn Facebook groups again, saying, "Well, no, some guys were out there and dug it up a few days after Ellie completed her search." Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Because if you go back to when the defense filed that 136-page memorandum, they clearly admit that the bullet was found the day the girls were found.
It was, and there's a chain of custody for that round. Okay, for everything that was found around the crime scene, there's a chain of custody.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Exactly. I mean, if there was not a chain of custody, then the defense would be filing and talking about that over and over and over. They did put in I think it was like Frank's motion or whatever, but they had said at this time of the filing there was no chain of custody, or they didn't have any info about that. But that was over a year ago. It had not even been at the discovery deadline. They had gotten several things of discovery past that. Could have been in there. Had it not been, we would have heard about it by now.
Well, yeah, I was getting ready to say that if they were claiming the chain of custody at one point in time, yes, I do recall that. But then again, you haven't heard anything about that since then. So that tells you they were wrong.
But we may not have heard anything about it. But because Nick is smart, he's not trying this case online. We'll find out together during the trial.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see the chain of custody is going to be there. There's going to be pictures of them finding it, bagging it, tagging it, all of that. That is huge evidence. Huge. It's not something that was just, okay, yeah, well, we found a bullet. No, that is fucking huge.
It's huge.
Sorry about my French.
Not only that, but it's huge also with the way Holman or whoever it was in the interview phrased the question, have you ever had anyone, borrow your gun? No. Okay, well, and then have you ever been on Ron Logan's property? No. Well, I mean, that's kind of a problem.
Well, people lie. I mean, 1,000 times I've seen people raise their right hand and swear to God that they're going to tell the truth and the whole truth, so help me God, and lie. It happens all the time.
So you think that this man out here, he told Holman that he gave, or he was too afraid to say that he had, lent his gun to someone. I mean, I don't think so. I think that was his, like, I believe that the bullet was there from that gun
I
for,
believe that as well.
yeah. I
Now,
don't think,
Holman, no matter how stupid people think he is or how dumb, he's smart. He uses techniques that are proven to ask questions and then re-ask the questions and then re-ask them and look for inconsistencies.
so, okay.
So
I was talking with Frosty a little bit about, because he keeps saying about the 19 and there's a missing bullet. Basically, I guess, does this man not shoot the gun ever? Because Frosty's like, well, then the missing bullet is at the crime scene. I have only shot my mom's little gun, a couple times, but I'm not counting how many, shots I'm firing or casings that are missing. Is that a thing that people are like counting? When you look at
no,
the
it's not.
okay,
No,
so
it's not.
I guess, like, for me, if we're saying, okay, that missing bullet is at the crime scene and he got this gun in 2001 or whenever it was, that would mean he has never fired the weapon, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, in all actuality, that's what it sounds like.
It
I
it
mean,
it
from
doesn't mean that. That round has manufacturing marks on it. So if that round came from, and we're talking down to grains of gunpowder in each batch. If it matches a box that he has at the house, I mean, he could have got rid of all of those rounds, right? And they could
Mm-hmm.
have still matched it to the gun because of the tool marks. But if they found rounds at his house that matches the batch number from that manufacturer, the one in the little keepsake box to me doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter whatsoever. It may be a round that was out of some other ones that he had in his box. I'm here to tell you, I have the rounds that I keep in my weapon are home defense rounds.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I use if I target practice are different. So every once in a while, and shit, I've been retired since '08. I mean, I don't shoot that much. But when
I've
I do, I'll shoot all of my old home defense rounds and put new ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've
But there was,
had I've had my 40 cal for 4 years and I've only fired it twice.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So none of that matters. If we're going by the amount of rounds that they found in the house as opposed to what was in the weapon, that does not matter. That doesn't matter at all. Now
No,
think about it, if
I
you're
don't
on the
think that.
jury,
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. Think about if
So,
you're in the
yeah.
jury and they said, well, there was 20 rounds found out of a 21 box, and there's one that we found at the crime scene. But if it's not the same manufacturer and have the same manufacturer stamp on it, you look at any round, if you have any guns at your house, if you look at the back of the round, you'll see the manufacturer's stamp on it.
Hmm.
So whatever they found at his house matched not
To
only
what?
ballistically with the ejection marks, whether it was a squib, if it was a squib round, they'll have breach marks. But
Mm-hmm.
if it wasn't, if he just racked it again because he doesn't carry that much
Right.
and didn't realize he had one in the chamber, well, then it would be the manufacturer's mark as well. And I'm here to tell you, most of the people I know that have handguns, even that carry them concealed, still have rounds at home in the box from that same magazine that they use because nobody carries that I know, a 30 round clip. I mean, that's Crips and Blood stuff. Uh,
I've got a 20 round clip,
okay,
extended clip.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've got 7 in mine. I have a Glock 43, but I can shoot.
But see, I have mine's a 9 round clip plus one you can put in the chamber. So it's just a 9 round clip and one additional one in the chamber.
Right. So they've matched to his weapon that he had, to that handgun, by tooling marks and by manufacturing marks. So whatever he had in his house, because he didn't shoot all the time. And here's another thing: he did not carry all the time. That's a fact. He didn't carry open carry or concealed carry all the time. So the fact that he had a gun and a knife that day shows intent. He intended on either scaring somebody or killing somebody that day.
Sammy Day says, "How unique are the marks to one particular handgun? With thousands produced, it seems marks may be replicated by other guns." You might think that, but trust me, when these weapons are made, all the pieces are made the same way, but they are not exactly the same. If you understand what I'm saying.
Ejection marks are every bit as identifiable as rifling marks when a round goes down the barrel.
Really?
Each piece to a
Absolutely.
handgun is not exactly the same. If you got 240 cal Smith and Wessons, you would think that every piece in those weapons are exactly made the same way, but they're not. They might have a little different defect on each piece to make it different than the other weapon. That's the difference between two weapons. The firing
Exactly.
pin at the very tip of the firing pin might be just a hair off than the other. The rounded edge on the firing pin might have something on it that the other firing pin from the other weapon doesn't have. That's the
Even
difference.
even on a wheel gun,
Right.
one that does not eject the round, you have the empty shell that's still in the chamber. And those tooling marks are going to be the same, and they're identifiable. And I'm
So
sure, I mean, we're all going to learn this together, but it's not junk science
so
at all.
okay. I think that obviously firing the gun is probably the best way. That's more of like your fingerprint, right? But then you have
If
what we
they
have,
recover the slug.
but we have in this case, then it was ejected. So if you had, um, I don't know, another gun just like Alan had and ejected it, you're telling me that basically there would be differences on whatever fell out at the crime scene versus, or if what have you, the bullet, the markings, the tool marking will be different from another gun, that different,
If
that
you
is
got
observable.
if you get 240 6 hours, you think that, like I was just explaining to you, that all the pieces inside that weapon are all made the same way. But if you read down here what Gibbo says, a machine can never produce the same due to wear and tear on the machine's parts. So it'll make the parts just a hair different in the gun. They might look the same, but they're not the same.
And the
Right, but that's a
ejection pin
hair
is a
different.
stamped. It's a stamped item. Now, here's the thing: if it is a squib round, right, that means that the primer did not go off, whether it's a squib round or not. If he forgot and racked it, he would have to rack that gun. A squib round will not eject the round; it'll just go click and nothing will happen. But
Can
we
you
don't
tell
know
if
if
it was a
that's
squib round? Can you tell?
No,
yes,
not right
yes.
out of the box. You can't.
No, no, no. If it's a squib round, if he clicked the gun, nothing happened, and he ejected it, it'll show the firing pin and the breech marks.
Right, I'm
But
saying,
the
can a crime scene analyst sit there and say this was a squib round?
yeah, if I pick up a bullet off of the ground
Uh-huh.
and I look at the primer and there's a dent in it, I
Okay.
would say this is squib round. It didn't fire.
I know Frosty's probably going to want to come up here because he likes talking about this bullet.
Let
Give
him
me a
come up because I've been talking to him about it a little bit.
Let me put him in the link in the chat. Hey, Frosty, come on up, bro. There's the chat or the links at the bottom of the page.
Because I don't know a ton about like guns and whatnot, and my mom and stepdad got a couple guns a few years ago, and I've shot hers, and I mean it's pretty cool and whatnot, but I literally have zero idea about any of this, anything about ballistics.
Thank God we were in the military, right, Ruckus? Because we learned that real quick. Ruckus, what did I lose him to? He's up there, but I
No,
don't hear
he's
him.
up. He might be muted.
All right, what was that? I'm sorry. I
I
muted
said
because
we
we're
learned
watching the
a lot
game,
of.
and my buddy's the Georgia fan. So.
Oh, we learned a lot about weapon parts and stuff in the military. Ripping
Well,
apart M16s and 45s and
I learned way more in the sheriff's office.
right.
Way more. Because I was in the Air Force. We weren't issued weapons. We had to qualify with them, and we were issued if we were on Zulu Guard or anything like that, or if we were working with nukes. But the sheriff's office, we had to qualify. You had to know how to clean them. I was very good friends with the armorer. You know, as a matter of fact, my oldest son, my youngest son actually, who's a sergeant in the sheriff's office, just texted me and said, "Hey, I got a new Glock 43. Do you have the rear sight alignment tool?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." So, bring it on up, and I'll hook it up for you. But
CJK, you are correct about Allen. He had a license at one point in time, but it had expired and he never renewed it. So, because I had
listen,
looked into that.
Allen was a weekend warrior,
Yep.
so all that shit needs to stop. He 1 weekend a month he worked with the military, and then 2 weeks out of the year he went TDY. He was a weekend warrior. He was not active duty military. So all that shit needs to stop.
Sammy's wanting to know, what do you think of a motive? Is RA a predator with a hidden past, or is he a loose cannon with lost control in an argument with the girls? I am not going to actually, I've got my opinions. I'm starting to lean more toward a sexual type thing.
I
But
think it was blind rage myself. Blind rage.
And something just happened and he went into a rage, just like Ruckus said. We don't know exactly what happened on that bridge, but when trial comes, I'm sure we're going to learn to know what happened on that bridge because it's all on audio. We know this.
But blind rage, I mean, Ruckus, you were just saying if he had the gun and we knew he wasn't carrying it often, he went with intent, okay?
We know there was an intent of something. We just don't know what the intent was. We don't know if it was murder, sexual assault, or what it could have been.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%. His intent, he was carrying a gun and he had a knife or a blade or whatever. So his intent was that his intent was he wanted to either intimidate, scare, or hurt somebody.
Now, see, I would have to disagree because you know me well enough, Ruckus, by now that I don't leave the house without being strapped. Period. And I'm not going out with my gun to try to intimidate or plan to do anything to anybody. It's for my own protection and protection for society too. In case something goes down, I'm there to help people. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah,
but did he
didn't
actively
do
carry?
that. He didn't do that, Frank. He didn't. People didn't know him as somebody that always carried.
Right.
So
So
that's your
that
difference.
that was an odd day for him. Now that doesn't mean anything. Listen,
Right.
dude, if they found his driver's license between the two girls, that does not mean that he killed them. Doesn't look good, but it doesn't mean he killed him. Because he had a gun and a knife that day does not mean that he killed them. But all the evidence put together just doesn't look good for him. Plus his confessions and
Admitting to
all
being
that.
out there, admitting to running into the three preteens, admitting to being on the bridge, admitting to dressing like bridge guy. I mean, what else does the defense scarecrows need to prove that Richard Allen is the man?
Scarecrows.
Well, that's their nicknames from now on because you know the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz didn't have any damn brains.
Now listen, they're doing everything that they can for his defense. Okay, the judge isn't stupid. She's not allowing some of this stuff in, but they're doing their job, and this is part of our rights. If we get accused of something and we can't afford an attorney, we get appointed attorneys. Now, it just so happens that they're not public defenders; they're getting paid as such, but they have actual practices, but they're death penalty certified. Now, the death penalty is not on the table yet, but they're doing a great job. I mean, just the fact that we're talking about this stuff with all the evidence that's against Richard Allen, the confessions, the hard evidence, all of that tells me
Well,
they're doing their job. They're doing everything that they can,
Hmm.
but they're fucked. He needs to just plead guilty and get this over with.
Can I?
Linda
Can I?
Harder said,
Oh, sorry.
hold on. Linda Harder said, do you think RA went through his house after the house search to see what they took? Well, I'm sure he did. And it still flabbergasts me to this day. Who in the hell in their right mind holds on to 19 cell phones in a wicker basket under their bed?
Strange.
That's beyond strange to me.
But that does not make him guilty, though.
Right, I understand that,
No.
but I mean, just some of the stuff that come out, man, I'm just like, man, who does that kind of crap? What are you hiding? What is in those phones? That's what makes your mind go doop 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 doop.
I have a question for Ruckus. Why do you think the state even entertained Tobin, I guess, and paid him? What do you think they were even consulting him for?
Well, they have to look at every twist and angle. They have to.
But this was before even like the defense, I think, had, from my understanding, like obviously like invoices were paid. Like, did the state seek this man out before the defense? What was he paid for? A deposition fee? I wouldn't think so. But I mean,
his name had to come up somewhere, right?
so
They
why
wouldn't
did they
just
want him? So
they
why?
wouldn't just pull it out of thin air.
So it's
So
if they have a ballistics expert, why are we talking to him?
because he worked with Baldwin in the past,
Okay.
so that makes absolute sense to me. They're looking at, well, who could they use? Who could they possibly use?
So
So
you
they
think
go
it's a
into
game of
Baldwin's
chess?
past, and there he
Yeah.
is.
So it's a game
Yeah.
of chess. They're wanting to stay one step ahead of them.
The
They
state says
have
trust.
to. They have to.
The state says trust Frank bringing out the 40 cal. Juice talk about stopping power. Hey, I'm coming at you with some hardcore weaponry. If you're gonna go down no matter what. I carry 40 cal JBM flatheads, and I carry JBM hollow points staggered in my clip.
That's a foreign language to me. Literally, you're just speaking Dutch right there.
This is a man thing. If you have a gun with a clip and you're not shooting it at least once a year, you need to change your clip out because they don't last. Springs can give out. That is absolutely correct. The spring won't have elasticity to it anymore, and it won't spring the round up into the chamber.
Okay.
But as far as ballistics goes, experts, there's people that actually held the round and held his weapon. Now, a lot of people say, well, why did they fire it? Well, in case it was a squib load, or just to show that even a fired round will have the same striations. It'll have the same tool marks as an unfired round.
Oksana says, are you saying that they found bullets at Ari's house that were identical to the one found at the scene? Same brand, same serial number. Yes. Sure
Exactly.
did. Exactly.
Exactly. Now, and anybody in here that has a firearm, right? A pistol at home. You have a box of rounds. You've loaded up your mags. no matter how many you have, if you're one of these zombie eclipse motherfuckers, you still have, like 5 or 6 mags loaded. You have one in the weapon, and then you have more in your nightstand. So he just never thought to get rid of that stuff. He doesn't realize, in my opinion, it's not a squib round. In my opinion, he racked it at the bridge to gain
You're cutting in and out, Ruckus.
I have a question about that actually, Ruckus. If he racked it, Frank, at the bridge, how did the bullet end up between the two then?
Okay. If he racked around on the bridge and they complied to get down the hill, go across the creek to the crime scene, he might have not even remembered racking it on the bridge, and he racked it again at the crime scene, which would have ejected the first round out that he had already racked on the bridge. You understand?
90% of people
No.
that conceal carry,
Okay.
90% of people that conceal carry do not have one in the pipe.
No.
That means one racked and ready to go.
Okay,
Because they're
okay.
afraid that when they pull it out, they'll shoot
Right.
and
And
shoot themselves.
see, a 40
Okay.
cal Smith & Wesson does not have a safety on it to where you could turn it to safety on and off.
It has
The
no
Neither
safety-
does a
safety?
Glock.
The safety is on the trigger.
Oh.
Yeah, Glock's the same way. Now, with his weapon, even with the safety on, he can rack around.
Right. It just won't allow you to pull the trigger if the safety's on.
Right. You have to like flip it with your thumb, right?
Yes.
Or I'm just like picturing.
Oh, you're learning something here. Yes.
No, I'm just picturing like when I've shot my mom's. Like I've only done it a couple times.
Are you left or right-handed?
Right-handed?
So
You shot your mom? Is that what you said?
No, no, God, no. That woman, man, she's been through enough. She just had a double mastectomy. I'm not gonna shoot her.
a vasectomy. She had a double vasectomy.
Mastectomy.
Oh, I was about to say, whoa, hold on here.
Is she doing okay?
She is, thankfully. She starts chemo
Okay.
next week.
Well, good.
Okay.
Prayers going to your mama.
Thank you.
Yes.
GP says can't wait for them to spill the evidence that they have, anticipating way more.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the ballistic evidence, the defense doesn't have anything. Doesn't have anything.
No,
So-
no, he's screwed.
Yeah.
Ballistically. I mean, I know people like to say it's junk science, but I mean, you can argue that for anything, honestly.
Well, there's precedents
Minus DNA.
in the state already. There's already precedents
No,
on
right,
this science.
Right. Well, and I think Frosty had even talked about the case. They didn't have the gun at that in the case that he's talking about. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Right versus Indiana. They'd never even found the gun.
Who is it?
Right?
Right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Daisy says this is old science. Ejection mark analysis. Don't let folks act like it isn't. One case off the top is Diane Downs. That was one crazy case there. If you know who Diane Down is.
Was it Indiana?
No.
Okay.
She ended up killing one of her. She was one of them. I hate to use this word toward a woman, but she was one of them women that were out there floozing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was in the guy so bad that the kids were getting in her way. Her kids were getting in her way. So she drove down a road, turned around and shot them all, and made it look like that there was a guy that was in the middle of the road when she was driving and stopped her that needed help. And she tried to say he's the one that killed him, that killed her kids. 2 of the kids survived. 1 of them died.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you ever want to watch a good case, follow Diane Downs' case.
SP-74, yes, that's the case. Turner v. State.
That's the one where the striation marks that he's talking about.
Right, and there were the firearm, they didn't even have the firearm for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was Turner.
Yeah.
I
was
posted
like, right?
that a few times.
Right. Okay.
And that was in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
This guy got a new trial on appeal, and with the same exact ballistic evidence, was convicted again.
Right. And then I think the Caden Smith trial, so the judge, I think, excluded the firearm ballistics, whatever testing. And then the state then, with a motion in limine, appealed that, whatever. And then that was overturned and sent back to the trial court. And that's the one that Baldwin and Hennessy were just doing.
Yeah, they don't shoot on the weekend warriors. They don't go to fire range like we do in active duty. We had to go recertify. If I remember correctly, it was every 6 months. But that was a long time ago. I don't know exactly how long it was before we had to recertify with our weapons.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you're a weekend warrior, I mean, 1 weekend a month, and then 2 weeks out of the year. So during that 2 weeks, I would imagine that's when you do your firearms.
Let me make a public service announcement. Hey, if anybody wants to help out with the channel and support the live, you're more than welcome to donate to my Cash App, which is on the screen there. Cash App, # Shanker Sage, or you could buy me a coffee, and this is the address for buy me a coffee, guys. That's totally up to you. I'm not forcing anybody to it. If you're willing to, that's up to you. Okay, continue, Ruckus.
No, that was it. My buddy left and said I have a package at the front gate, so I'm walking down there now.
Is it raining down there still? No, he left. Oh. I'm trying to get questions. I believe it was a sexual thing too.
I think so. I don't think that he went out there with an intended target, victim, what have you. I think he just went out there.
I want to know what the motive is. They said there's a motive. That he mentioned a motive, but they're not telling us.
I really want to. Do you think that they will reveal that at trial?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Miranda Lee, for the donation. Go ahead.
I mean, all his confessions are in, so yeah, they would. I just didn't know if it'd be too, like prejudice and whatnot. But no, if she already ruled that the confessions are in, then yeah, I mean.
Shelley says, how can he be in a blind rage if he came out with intent? I believe there was an intent of some sort, but we just don't know what that intent was. We do. I mean, the more and more we get into this, we do believe he was going to use the gun as something to scare tactic or whatever. The knife, I can't explain, but the gun, I can. A gun is going to get anybody to comply whatsoever.
It may have been the first time or the 20th time that he's gone out with a gun and a knife. This was just the first time that he had an opportunity, and that's what makes it blind rage.
So basically, he has been there. What you're saying, blind rage, in the sense that he has been there multiple times beforehand, but never have carried it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I struggle with this just because, I mean, this man, he has a wife, he has a daughter, no criminal history. It's just like, what, the psychology behind it. What has made this man snap? Why him? And what behind it is, it's bizarre to me.
You never know what's going through a man's mind, especially with him at that time of the year, what was going on in his life at that time. His daughter was moving out, but getting married. His best friend dies in a motorcycle accident. Your better half, Ruckus, keeps dropping and coming back in. You keep dropping and coming back in.
I'm sorry, dude. I walked out to the fence. I apologize.
You're good. Now I just lost what I was saying. What was I saying, Scarlett?
I mean, you were talking about, things going on in people's lives. And I mean, I get that. Also, but man, there's a lot of other shit that we're doing, other people have dealt with, and we're not out here killing people. So
well, I mean, that just shows that not everybody's mind works the same. That's
and I think that's it. Is I mean, I will obviously, I mean, never be able to comprehend that type of mindset. I mean,
I'm trying to
it's
get an
unfair.
explanation for this statement here by Fair Maiden Wins. The whole body thing with two bodies simply does not add up for the time he was there. What do you mean it doesn't add up?
I don't understand what is that even English? The whole body thing with two bodies. I don't understand the question. I don't understand the statement.
I could take a weapon
Whole body.
myself and go out to a bridge, and if there's 3 females out there, I can control each and every one of them with that one weapon. No questions asked.
I don't know. You never met my wife.
Well,
What is
you
I don't
wouldn't.
even understand the question. The whole body. What does that mean? With two bodies.
I don't get. That's what I'm trying to get them to try to explain what they mean by this. But the way I'm looking at it, they're trying to say there's no way that he could have done it with 2 bodies, and I'm like, yes, he could have.
Oh, that gun. I mean, I'm telling you, if anyone showed me a gun, I'm going to do what they want.
I mean, they tell you like it, and Ruckus will even tell you this, like a store manager for a convenience store. If somebody comes in and pulls a gun to rob the place, you are instructed by the company to do exactly what they tell you to do. Give them what they want.
Right.
Right, Ruckus?
That's what we were told. I worked as a pharmacy technician while I was in college, and we were always instructed if I worked at CVS, and if someone was demanding drugs, you give it. It doesn't
Right.
matter. I mean, we did have the delayed like the locks and whatnot,
Right.
but I mean, only the pharmacists had access to that, but still, we went through the training, and you are instructed to give them what they want, no questions asked.
I still don't understand what's this Fair Maiden Wins. Ruckus, can you understand that?
What's that?
This up on the screen.
Bro, it's not English. So no, no one can understand that question.
It
Yeah,
says,
I'm on my phone, dude, so I can't read it.
all right, it says the whole body thing with 2 bodies simply does not add up for the time he was there.
That question doesn't add up.
It absolutely, yeah. They're stuck on the timeline.
That's
thing.
not timeline. What do you mean the whole body? WHOLE thing. What does that mean? Whole body thing with 2 bodies simply doesn't add up. What does that mean?
Let me tell you something about this timeline. This timeline is squeaky tight. There is no room for error in this timeline. They've got it down basically to the minute on everything that has happened. I'm telling you, they do.
And we'll all find out together. I mean, we don't know all of the evidence yet. I don't know what to tell this person. If they're trying to tell me that one person, one 50-year-old man, 45-year-old man could not do this to 2 preteen victims, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Delulu's saying she's saying he couldn't kill 2 kids in that time frame, which is weird. The deaths were minutes. Okay, well, she could have worded that a lot better than what she did.
Ruckus keeps fading in and out for some reason.
She's trying to put out she's a troll. She's a troll.
Who?
The woman you had up on that screen. I don't know, with that question that.
Oh, okay. Fair Maiden Wins.
Yeah, that person. Yeah.
But that's okay. If you're going to tell me that one person cannot kill 2 people within 2, 3, 4 minutes, I'm going to tell you're crazy.
You're crazy.
And that's like telling me when I was in the military, you can't kill 2, 3 people by yourself. The hell if I can't. You ever heard a double tap on a trigger?
Nah.
No, I'm talking about with a knife.
Well,
God, I mean,
I'm not going to get too far into it.
That situation right there, I would have to say that one of the girls was incapacitated when that all went down. Either knocked out or was unconscious or something like that for him to kill them both with a knife.
I disagree. I think that he could have said, if you move, I'll shoot. And then he takes and incapacitates. And I mean, who's going to move? I'm not moving. I'm going to do what he says.
but law enforcement said everything was done and over with by 3:30.
Right.
Right. We know the last video that Libby took, Libby took, was at 2:13. So we're talking at least, at least 45 minutes. And if you're going to tell me that a grown ass man could not kill two teenagers in 45 minutes during that time,
You're
I'm going to
whacked.
have to tell you that you're full of shit.
Right, but I think that goes with the undoing part that the behavioral analysis unit was talking about, with the whole like covering the way the crime scene looked. I think that the girls maybe, you know, sadly passed well before 3:30 when they
Well,
say,
I mean,
but I think that he
if
was gone by that time.
if her step counter had stopped, what was it at 2:39?
Right.
I gave an estimate probably somewhere in between 240 and 250. The girls were unalived. That
Mhm.
gave them all the way up till about 315, 320 to do whatever he had to do, throw sticks on them, throw Libby's clothes in the creek, whatever he did out there, and until he got spooked. He got spooked.
Do you really think that he put those clothes in the creek? I don't. I think
I do, because to get rid of evidence.
I think that he had them undressed and that it was in the creek, like kind of like a hectic moment, like he, you know, and those clothes were just there. I don't think that he actually even touched anything. I don't think that he had, I mean, the mental like mindset at that time, like, you know, we say to get rid of evidence, but to me it's he's not organized. And I don't think this was an organized crime, and that he could be able to have the mental like capacity to say, okay, I'm going to put these clothes in the creek to get rid of evidence. I think once the girls were gone, he regretted it, and that's where the undoing comes in. I don't think that he was able to mentally get to the point of covering up his tracks, if that makes sense.
Now, I
Well,
agree with
apparently,
you.
I do agree to an extent, but you got to remember he got away with it for over 6 years. So he must have done something right to where he didn't get caught until then.
Right.
Now,
There weren't
what if the attack started at the creek bed?
So when people question the creek, like crossing the creek, I've seen multiple like videos, and the creek is like a huge thing for people. And I don't think that it was deliberate. I think that it was almost like what, you know, Franco's talking about, or both of you have even said, you know, blind rage. It's almost like, okay, he had the two people where he wanted, and it was like, oh God, oh shit, here I am, you know, I have them under my control. Let's just go down here and he's kind of figuring things out in the moment in a way. I don't think anything was planned, if that makes sense.
I agree. It was not planned.
I don't think that you could be planned. I mean, I mean, someone in that rate, or I can't even put myself there, but someone, I guess, with that mindset, how could you ever be meticulous enough to plan it to that extent? That to me, it doesn't make sense.
That's why I never thought it was a planned deal either.
No, I can't even make it make sense.
But
It's
you can't get into his mindset.
Right.
No, I can't, and that's the problem.
Right.
Like
Right.
Anthony France says, they had a lot of evidence against Casey Anthony, and she was found not guilty. Jurors are unpredictable.
Oh.
And I would have to agree with that statement 100%. We could sit here and say all day we believe he's guilty till we're blue in the face, but we don't know what the jurors are thinking or will be thinking.
Right, and that's
Agreed.
scary as shit. I mean,
And-
it's scary as it's scary as all hell.
And that's why I say the defense has done a great job.
Right.
They're doing everything that they can. I'm not mad at them at all. They're doing their job.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. It's just scary as all hell.
Fair Maiden wins again. Do you think he told Kathy he went out and told he was there? And what was her reaction? Did he know before her husband talked to us? That's something we can't answer. We can't answer to that because we weren't there. Apparently, I mean, from all indications so far that I've seen through Kathy Allen, I don't think she knew anything about it. Honestly, I don't. After being around her so many times and the reactions to things that was going on in the courtroom.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know. I've kind of went back and forth on this about him telling her, even if, he was ever there, and kind of things I've been talked about, with her coming home and he was in bed or what have you still. But I don't know if he did, who did he tell? Did he tell anyone? And if he didn't, if he never told Kathy Allen that he was at the trail that day, I mean, even if she remotely thought or saw thought, oh, that looks like Richard, or it sounds like him. I mean, it's confirmation bias in a way, psychologically speaking, it's confirmation bias for her, because it's like, no, he was in bed all day, that it's not him.
Well, any woman here in the chat, if that was your husband, you would know. You wouldn't have to see the face or anything. You would know that that's your husband, period. My wife doesn't follow true crime. She doesn't give a shit what I'm doing. But she has said, if that was you, I would know it.
I agree, but I disagree. So kind of going back like to the confirmation bias kind of thing that I was mentioning, is she assumed he was in bed all day. I mean, this is a white male. It's a blurry ass picture. If we had a better picture, then okay. But it's
Now
a
that video was 47 seconds long. We don't know how far before it started or after.
right, but she didn't
So
see that. She has seen what we have seen.
right, but he's getting closer. Do you agree? To
What do
the
you?
camera.
Yeah, but I don't think that you can make out anything really other than it's a white male. I mean,
You
I
can make
personally
out
think
if that was your
He was
husband.
70 feet away from the girls when that video was taken.
I
Right.
think that picture was taken. I think the video was Libby standing on the bridge and her phone basically to, like, if she's right-handed, I don't know, right, left-handed, whatever. If she's right-handed, it's in her right hand and her arm is down, and that phone, that camera lens is upside down. And so I think that he is from behind them, personally. And her phone, like, and she was taking a picture of Abby, she put her, or picture, video, whatever, put her arm down, caught him on video, and she says, oh, is he still following me, or is this creepy guy still behind me? And that is what's on the video. I don't think he was in front of them. I think he was from behind, and it's blurry as all hell, and they've obviously, like,
Have
gone.
you seen the original still shot of BG on the bridge? The very first photo that was ever released?
I mean, I followed it from the day they went missing, so I saw what was ever put out.
Did you see the
The first
one
picture that the news put out, yeah.
the very first photo that was ever released has Abby's arm in it?
Oh, I mean, I haven't followed.
Yes,
No,
it does.
I haven't seen that. I guess, where was that?
It
But
was when she
we
took
have
the
not
photo.
seen the whole video.
Right.
So we don't know.
But who put
Now
out that photo?
there's no doubt law enforcement admitted that they enhanced that video.
They had
But
to
I
alter it just enough.
but I'm here to tell you,
I'm not saying they altered or enhanced it. All you have to do is, like, on the crop thing, is like do that, like the arrow thing where you, like, just turn it, like, if I take a picture upside down, you just do the arrow and you flip the picture, and that they just turned it right side up for us.
well, if you
No,
used it like
because
a face camera,
yeah, see,
it would still be right side up. But the
if
thing is that it does not take a Photoshop expert to see that video, his right hand and that whole part of his jacket was obscured.
yep.
So
And a lot of people question the audio too, saying, well, Kathy should be able to recognize his voice. That is not necessarily true. I used to be a radio broadcaster, and we had to splice tapes and stuff together. Basically, what they did with that audio is they had to cut parts out of it to try to make it sound feasible to people where they can hear it. You understand what I'm saying? There's going to be some garbage noise in the back. There's going to be some background noise they're trying to cut out of it. So
Right.
if people think that they alter that audio for any other purpose, they're wrong.
So I've also heard, not like nothing with the audio, but that the video basically is like a GIF in a way of just like still frame photos. I don't think that, how could that ever be the case? She's not taking 8 million photos.
What do you have to explain yourself? I'm not understanding what you mean.
So I don't know how. I mean, I saw or heard that basically people are thinking that the video of Bridge Guy is not a video, but rather, you know what a GIF is, right? Like where they put multiple frames of something. You can like put multiple frames of a photo together and kind of like make it move in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so people are like saying it's a GIF, but like to me it doesn't make sense, because that would mean that there would have to be several photos, like multiple photos that Libby had taken on her phone for
Right.
them to create that GIF. And so
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And
yes,
what they did is they took the video
it's
and
a
they
video.
only took 1.4 seconds of that video, Ruckus, and that's what they keep looping on the bridge. All they did is re-looped it, is all they did. You could actually see the looping going on if you pay attention enough to the video.
Right.
And the
Watch
whole
his
time
feet.
he's moving towards the camera, so they're
Yes.
getting a better look at him.
Right.
And the reason
So
why
Cheryl
they
McCollum had said,
enhanced and altered the video was because that firearm that he had was a special edition firearm, so they didn't want to let that out.
where do you think that they had where do you think the firearm came in? You think it was seen on video?
Absolutely.
Where? Like, do you
Right
like,
there in that picture.
because his arm or his right hand is obscured?
You can clearly see it. If you ever go back to any of True Crime Web's old shows,
Okay.
he actually does something because he used to be a CSI technician
Yeah,
himself.
I
You
know.
can see the shadow of the
Yes.
barrel.
Yes,
I've
you can
watched his
see
stuff.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
You sure can.
I'm gonna have to go look at that stuff.
It's
Okay.
way back. You're talking
And if
well
Steve-
over a year.
If Steve says that video was altered, I believe him 100%.
Frank, ask Steve for that video just so I don't have to go searching and actually watch.
Hey, I don't talk to Steve a whole lot because he's always on the road.
Yeah, Ruckus though. Ruckus, you talk to him sometimes.
I talked to him right before I came on tonight.
Okay, so ask him what video that was, and then if you can send that to someone, get it to me. I would just like to see that.
Yeah. But I mean, you can believe me or not. I've seen all his videos,
Mm-hmm.
but
No, I believe you 100%.
the whole right side, his arm, his hand, his jacket, has all been blurred by law enforcement.
I'll tell you how good Steve is. When Cheyenne was on the bridge taking her photos, we didn't have a timestamp on the photos. Okay.
Frank,
So
Frosty's back. Get him on. Get him on.
Steve did one of his CSI things with the sun and all that to get an approximate time that Cheyenne took the photo on one of those photos on the bridge, and he got it down to 3:02 p.m. that day is when she took the photo of the north end looking down at the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, he got it down to the minute.
I mean, with the way the sun, I mean, it's nuts. But Frosty said he'll come on.
All right, hold on.
I want to talk to him about this bullet and his. I mean, yeah, I don't know, like this number thing with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off. You can replace me with Frosty.
All right, go throw some more back and go to bed, man.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
All right, I'll talk to you, bro. Thanks for coming in. Here you are, Frosty. Blade. Dude. Damn, there ain't even no bad out there, man. It's raining. Where you at, Frosty? Yeah, Steve was. I mean, I was still partnered up with Marv when he contacted us to work with us a couple times on the case, and he did everything when it CSI when it comes to CSI when it comes to the photos. And he even said that the bridge guy photo was altered just enough to hide the weapon, the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, is all they did.
Now his video I watched with the serrated knife versus a straight blade knife was really cool on that pigskin.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Well, Frosty, you coming or what are you doing?
Taking his sweet time like he always does.
Well, Anthony, I'm sure she'll be there. There's Frosty. What's going on, Frosty?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, been sitting there shooting the shit for over an hour.
Yeah, I just got home. I'm fucking making Jello shots for the game tomorrow, so they're
Oh
settling.
my god!
I got me on Jello shot duty this week, man. So I got to let these settle. But yeah, what's going on?
It's talking about the bullet and things of that nature, and talking about
Tobin.
Mr. Tobin and
yeah. See, I don't know a whole lot about. I didn't get a whole lot of time last night to read, and I sure should have had time today. But I don't really know the whole deal with that. It sounds like McClelland is fine with them using the other guy who's actually a credentialed firearm expert, and then like this other guy they're trying to use is just an expert on metal. Like,
yeah,
right. But
yeah.
But fun fact on the spreadsheet that has been circulating, Tobin, Mr. Tobin here, was actually paid by the state.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard that. I don't think that's very. I don't think that's very unusual. They probably talk to. I mean, they probably talk to a lot of people who are like have different credentials and that kind of thing. Because I think that guy does something for forensics, but it's like with metal, and I guess I don't really know, but it's
right,
not
but
uncommon for them to talk to multiple people.
No, I don't disagree. I just think that like Ruckus had kind of the way that Ruckus kind of put things like kind of in a way that it was like a chess move, because Baldwin, I guess tried to use this guy in his Caden Smith trial that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Right.
See that, and I mean, I don't really. How I understood it is they want somebody like just because you're an expert in metal doesn't make like I don't know.
Time out for a second. If you're in here talking about families,
hell no.
You know where the door's at. Don't let that motherfucker hit you in the ass, because I don't put up with that shit in my lives or in my chat. Period. Point blank. If I catch you, you'll be banned for good.
Don't let it hit you where the good Lord split you. Goodbye.
I'm just trying to tell you, man, we ain't going there with that shit in here. My channel will not stoop to the levels of all the other scarecrows out there.
Hell no. I like that.
Frank the Scarecrow. What made you think of this? I cannot. The scarecrows.
One second. Hold on. I gotta put these in the fridge real quick. Just 2 seconds.
Oh, people are upset.
I don't play that shit. I don't give a damn if they're upset. You ain't coming to my chat pulling that bullshit.
Okay.
Kyra says, Sammy Day. I don't think he knew, because why would he keep his gun then? Yeah, I don't think he realized that he left a round at the scene. That's the only explanation that you can come up with. If he didn't realize it, that's why he kept his gun and all the ammunition that he had.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think he was much of a shooter. That's what I think about that.
Boston Christian says he was a monster, sick, twisted freak. I mean, that video of him wherever they were at, sitting in the car, he's looking in his phone, and Kathy creeping up on him, and he turned and gave that look. If that look could have killed, she'd be dead. That look, that situation right there told me that there was something weird about this dude going on in his brain.
Yeah, he just doesn't. I don't know. Every time I've seen him, like there's something off. Like he doesn't talk, and I don't know. He's just very strange.
I mean,
a little bizarre.
I don't know. Like, if someone comes up on me and I'm like dead set into like what I'm looking at, researching something, I don't know. I get really into things, and came up and scared me. I mean, if looks could kill, I'd kill. You know what I mean with my looks, but I'm not a deranged.
Gail Hearns wanted to know how you knew the girls were there.
He didn't.
We don't know if he.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Right.
We don't know until we know, right?
It could have been the spur of the moment. It could have been the victims that he chose at the last second. We just don't know. Hell, Betsy Blair could have been his victim, and we don't know that.
It was already testified to that there was no connection between Kagan Klein and Richard Allen, or they couldn't find any digital, I guess, connection.
That's what the defense is going to tell you.
No, that was testified at the 3-day hearing.
By the defense. They brought their witness. They brought their witness. What I'm trying to tell you, the people that were called up to the stand were called by the defense, not by the state.
Cecil was called by the defense.
All of them were. The third day, I don't know. Right, Tommy, were you there on the third day?
I unfortunately was not.
He was
Hold on, I got somebody. Where is rescue? Because when I was there the Tuesday and Wednesday, everybody
was all
was
defense
called,
witnesses.
Yes, they were all called by the defense. All of them were.
See, the biggest thing, because I didn't make it to day 3, but the biggest one for me is that whenever Click basically admitted that there was no nexus or no damning evidence for any of the Odinist people.
Right, that's Click. That's the Odinist. I meant just Kagan Klein. Cecil, though, he's the one that headed up, was the lead investigator on the Kagan Klein case, right?
Oh, that was Vito.
Vito was,
Vito,
but
okay.
Cecil was the forensic guy when it came to the phone calls and all that stuff.
Didn't Vito though say that there was no connection?
I don't think there ever. I mean, that's just my opinion. I never. Really
They could never find a connection, is what they were saying. But it doesn't mean just because there's no connection between Keegan Klein and Richard Allen, it doesn't mean he was doing some of the sick shit that Keegan was doing.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
And that's why I won't try to guess until we get into trial. All we can do is speculate.
We can't. Well, no, you cannot guess. I mean, you cannot get in the mind of a killer because it's not logical. And we are thinking logically right now. And so, I mean, you're never going to be able to ever speculate or understand that mindset because you aren't there. I mean, we're logical. We think logically right now. And clearly,
Anthony France, I do believe there was a premeditation, but what was the premeditation for? Sexual assault, murder, or what was it? We don't know.
Nick hinted at it.
If it was a sexual assault that went bad, then I could see the reasoning why he had to take him out. And I still, to this day, wonder if they just unmasked him to where they saw him to where he had to unalive him.
I don't disagree. But the only thing is, like with a sexual assault, why 2 victims? Typically, it's only 1.
It might not be the sexual assault that we are accustomed of seeing and hearing about. It might be just a sexual gratification to see them naked.
See, I think that's more it than an assault, a physical assault.
Right.
Yeah. Could be. I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much on that, but yeah.
This is Jessica Lodeholtz. Rick did show aggression toward women more than once, factor in alcohol, and if he was taking any meds. Bingo.
I've heard he was, I mean, we've all heard the Walmart story. I mean.
Right. Well, it's easy to make both girls cross the creek. You got a gun pointing at you. Shit, I'm hightailing it across the creek.
Exactly. And people keep saying that. I do not understand what they mean by if they cross the creek. I'm going wherever this man tells me to go. He has a gun pointed at me.
How did he make both girls cross the creek in the middle of the day with several people, as reported, crossing the bridge? There was no the only other person that we know of there at that time when Richard Allen was there was Betsy Blair. Everybody else was already gone.
Not many people cross that. That's kind of like a misconception. I think not many people can cross that. That bridge is.
People like population, whatever is beside the point. If he tells them, if you make a sound, I'm shooting.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going to make a peep. They'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
Yeah, they're kids. Yeah, they were kids, of course.
That's why I seem to think he racked a gun on the bridge, got him across, and something happened to where he had to rack it again. why would you need to rack it again?
Right. Right. Racking it if you get an unspent bullet at the crime scene between the two girls. That was why I was asking Ruckus, like, okay, I don't think that he racked it on the bridge. I think he just pointed it. And I think
that doesn't make any sense though, because
unless it carried chambered, not a lot of people do that.
Right, exactly like Ruckus says. A lot of people, I don't have a round chamber when I leave the house. There's always room for an accident.
Why do you think he racked it on the bridge though?
For compliance.
Or no, I think the second rack was adrenaline. If like, you know what I mean, something goes wrong, you're not really thinking, you just rack it again. I mean,
right.
I don't think he racked it at all. I think he just showed it to him on the bridge and told him down the hill, and then he had to rack it wherever they were on the property where they were found to gain more control.
That would mean he carried hot, which means there's one in the chamber, and that's dangerous. I mean, you could do it with a Glock because it has that safety trigger mechanism, but a lot of guns don't have that.
Yeah, see, that's where I don't know.
That's scary. Yeah, but I don't know. Again, some people do it. I don't know. I don't know his habits. I know it doesn't seem like he's much of a shooter because, like, I think you mentioned it earlier, but
he racked it once on the bridge, and then he racked it again, and that's why it ejected.
That's my speculation, yes.
That's all we're speculating. We can't say for sure exactly if he had already had a hot round or not. We just don't know.
It's possible. That's entirely possible. I don't know. You know.
Right. So if he had a hot round, so he either had to rack it twice or he had to have a hot round for it to eject without firing.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. I'm following.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. But again, I don't know. That's just, you know, that makes sense to me because I've heard rumors that you can hear it racked in the video, but I don't, that was never like, you know, that's just out there. I don't know where it came from. So I can't say if it's, you know, valid or not. I don't know.
Okay.
So, see, here's another prime example. People talking about killing multiple people in a short amount of time. Brian Koberger killed 4 people within minutes.
Koberger, isn't that going to trial here next? That trial's still a ways off, right?
Oh yeah, next year.
Crazy. You know what's crazy? That case with that Caden Smith case, that he just got sentenced yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, he got that. Somebody sent me the sentencing filing, and it was dated 9/27/2024. So the day that McClellan filed that stuff, that was the day he got sentenced.
And Mustangs is just threatening one would control the other. I mean, yeah, pulling a gun out is a threat. So that's a control mechanism right there.
100%.
And then you got to remember, I've researched this about fear. Fear makes the mind do things that normally you wouldn't do. Fear is going to make you basically in shell shock. You're going to freeze. Or your brain's telling you do what this person's telling you to do. That's pointing a gun at you. You know, your brain is not going to allow you to do anything, and it shouldn't.
Especially if you're a kid, like people.
Right.
I mean, you're a young teenager. Young teenager. The brain is not even fully formed at that point. But I don't care if it's fully formed or not. If someone is telling me to do something and they have a gun to me or pointing a gun at me, I'm complying. As simple as that.
Well, I'm here to tell you, somebody better give me a damn good explanation of why the Patties would kill their own granddaughter.
Oh, that's
nobody can. Oh God,
I'm tired of hearing that shit.
That's what I'm. Oh my God, dude, Jesus Christ.
That's just.
This ain't what's Casey Anthony. This ain't the Casey Anthony case.
Not at all.
It's just frustrating. Christ, dude.
See, I think that's what happened also, that the clothes were thrown in the creek to get rid of any type of DNA.
See, I don't think that he was in the right. I don't think that he could even think about that at that time. To even think, like,
but he had to thought to cover him up, though, didn't he?
Well,
it was remorse. It was like, oh shit, here's what I did, and it's an undoing. He. I don't know. What I've read about the undoing, like, side of things, it's different than like covering up a crime.
Well, like Daisy said, rinsing her blood off clothes could be an undoing.
But DNA can run through the laundry several cycles.
Right.
It'll still be water, just sitting and doesn't get rid of that. that's basically damn near embedded.
Yeah, but you
fiber.
got to remember though, when you're talking about washing machine, you're talking about filtered water though. Creek water is not filtered. It's very contaminated with bacteria, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
That's
No.
that's a fair point too.
Well, yeah, I mean, we use. I mean, samples
I
at work. I mean, we can purify the DNA. You know, you can filter out, and so okay. Basically, I mean, I do research, and so when you're testing for DNA and amplifying it, you have primers. And so the primers are specific for human DNA. And so it doesn't really matter. I mean, yes, you could have contaminated like samples, which then limit, I guess, the amount of DNA, like total of like say like human DNA. But if you have a primer and you're trying to amplify just human DNA, it's only going to attach then to that DNA. So if the DNA is present, they should be able to get it no matter what, is what I'm kind of getting at.
Why does everyone think when the opening statements are supposed to start on the 18th of October? Opening statements for the trial.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
The 18th.
Right.
She wanted to have the Thursday off for the jurors so they can get their affairs in order before they are to meet up wherever they're meeting up so they can be transported to their hotel and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's gotta. I don't envy the person who has the job of like overseeing the jury and all that. That is just the amount of crazy people that are out there that are licking at the chops to fucking find out who these people are, dude. That's just got to be stressful.
Well, all you got to do is go to all the hotels in Lafayette or Monticello and go up each floor and see which ones are guarded by a bunch of police.
Don't give me any ideas, Frank.
I mean, come on.
They won't have their phones, right?
No, I don't think they're allowed to have their phones either.
That's wild.
Man, I don't know. I've always thought the trial should have been held in where I live because this town, so many people cycle in and out. Nobody knows about it down here, but I want to do it up there. So,
I mean, I worry about like segregating them like that and taking everything away. I mean, with the world, like, I mean, we're all connected so much with our phone, and then you're taking that from them, and I don't, you don't want them to like, I don't know, rush a verdict just to get back to their phone and their lives, So I don't know. I see both sides, but it does worry me a little bit.
I mean, this question, Kyra says they've got so much evidence and how someone thinks it's not enough. I mean, look at it this way. You can have a guy on camera with his gun shooting somebody and the defense says, well, how do you know that's him? You don't have a clear picture of him. You see what I'm saying?
I've heard that there's some more.
Yes, I have too.
Yeah, we'll see.
I heard
about
there's
that.
more. I heard there's more video too, and audio.
I've heard there's much clearer surveillance. I don't know. This is all. This is just what I've heard, but could
like
be true. I don't know.
Like the trail cams.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard the trailhead cam caught him. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
Well, we know that at least one camera besides Libby got him from Kay Weber. Remember when Kay Weber was?
Yep, I've heard that too. Yep,
it had to be a trail cam.
That.
Yes,
that one's not out there yet.
Nope.
And damn well they traced his car back through surveillance camera throughout town, so damn well that's going to pop up. I guarantee that.
Holman mentioned trail cams though at CrimeCon though. Even.
I don't remember. I didn't. When was that? Was that a few years ago?
It was a couple years ago. He had mentioned trail cams. Yep.
That might have been before. Yeah, I wasn't around then, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I believe it though. I 100% I believe that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Going through.
Scarlett, you wanted to ask me about something. Whenever I was like saying I was going to come in, you wanted to ask me about something, and then I turned it off when I went to go to StreamYard.
Yeah, so it was just mainly because I was asking Ruckus a little bit about it too. So mainly like what we were talking about, kind of like with a number of bullets, and and like for me, it was like, so are you assuming that this man never shot his gun, basically? If
it looks that way.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to clarify that because I was like, basically what you're saying is what he got at the time when he bought his gun.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. I have legislation that I base that off of.
Yeah, because the Bill
Yeah.
Clinton thing, because you had
Yep.
told me that as well.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, so all that makes sense, but then you have to assume that he never shot the gun, correct?
If he did, it's very strange that he would only have one round. Like usually, if somebody shoots, like they're not going to shoot just one round. I mean,
Right.
I
So
don't know. That's
do
just
we
awfully convenient that he's missing one. Like there's one because that gun comes with 2 10-round mags, and they found 19. There should have been 20. I couldn't tell you where number 20. They never found it. They never found it in the house, as far as I know. So
I
don't
do
know.
want to go off topic a little bit. I keep seeing also in the Facebook groups talking about Becky is the one who brought Odinism into this case. It's a complete lie because I had many conversations with her about this. It was somebody else who brought it to her attention about Odinism. That's the only reason why Becky knew anything about Odinism is because somebody else brought it to her attention. I just wanted to make that very clear because I keep seeing that she's the one who brought it to the law enforcement's attention, and she is not.
I've never taken that. Like, I've seen that posted, but I never believed any of
I mean,
that.
it
So
doesn't even matter. I mean, I'm gonna
it
look at
doesn't matter. To me,
I'm
none
gonna
of
look
that
at
shit
any angle
matters.
possible, right? I mean, to find the killer. I mean,
Well, the families are the very first people they look at. No matter what case it is, it's gonna a murder case. The families, the first ones they're always going to look at, no matter what.
Yeah, there's some like Chris Benoit, Chris Watts. Like, of course, they're gonna. Yeah, there's a lot of cases out there with the family, but this isn't one of them. I hate, sorry about you. It's just not.
I mean, I think that's what's kind of wild about the whole thing is small town, Delphi. I grew up in Frankfurt, so it's like, you,
Oh, really? Okay, I know where that's
yeah,
at.
yeah. I mean,
And I
Delphi,
even had, I hate interrupting, but I'm seeing questions. Remember when me and you did a live last year, Frosty, and I had Abby's photo sent into a Photoshop expert?
Yeah.
He came back and I even put up his findings. There was nothing in Abby's photo to indicate that it was ever Photoshopped. I wanted to put that
Oh
out there
yeah,
too.
dude. I debunked that in like 2 seconds. That's like laughable. Like there's literally a free website where you can run any photo through and you can see what's altered and what's not. And
right.
I even showed like 6 examples and I'm like, here you go. And then I ran hers up on there and there was nothing. So like, I guess I would compare it to like luminol. This is like spraying luminol on a photo and it picks up on what pixels are like edited in or like added in or what's manipulated. And Abby's photo has none of that, nothing at all.
She's asking where the ass crack trolls at. Well, I think we've put them in their place the last few days by coming out with some factual information that we put out. So they're not running their chops today.
I don't know. It's just ridiculous, man. Like this.
That Phoenix went off the deep end on Sleuth's Live the other night, calling him a liar. His constitutional rights were violated because he didn't have an attorney for the safekeeping hearing. You gave me something to look into. And the next day.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely not true because Alan said that he wanted his own private attorney. And then by the time that even happened, I don't even think he put his letter in the switch.
No, he didn't do that until he got moved to Westville.
Yeah, he could. So he told the court that he wanted his own attorney, and then he didn't have it by the time that safekeeping order rolled around. That's not a constitutional violation. He did that to himself.
But I will interject. There are times, like I think pivotal moments in the case. I'm not for sure exactly what the term is, but there are times within a case that the court does, no matter what they, decide, have to like basically appoint an attorney until the individual can hire or get an attorney for themselves. Even if they say they're going to, they have to appoint an attorney. And so I think someone, I think it was Louise, had told in Frank's Discord had talked about, I don't know, on one of the like whatever that leaked index was, there was an attorney that was hired for like a day, she had said, and I believe that again was for, or I assuming I'm whatever, saying that guy was hired for his initial appearance. That is something that the court has to do no matter what. But I
do know that when these both sides hire their experts, 9 times out of 10, the experts are going to have an attorney with them.
No, we're talking about like just representation for Richard Allen himself. Yeah.
That he's supposed to have one, like for the period of time where he's like in the process.
So for his initial appearance, he had to have an attorney.
No,
with
we
him.
didn't.
No, it's that you have to.
No, you don't. His initial appearance is the day he got charged.
No,
which was,
initial appearance in court.
He did have an attorney at his initial hearing.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I think. That guy, his name, I can't pull it up because I'm on this StreamYard thing.
Oh, I can pull it up. I think I can find it. It should be listed on all the. It should be listed.
Well, it's not in the. It's on that leaked index that she had sent. It was in Frank's Discord.
Hoffinator.
No, not
Hoffinator.
Let me get to this real quick. I saw a show where RA was in the background behind a tree with Doug Carter was doing a press conference outside, I believe, trying to see. That is incorrect because Randy Gravitt was at that presser. It was in 2018, right at one of the trailheads. They were standing there, and it was not Richard Allen because we asked Randy about it. Richard Allen was not at that press conference.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. I just, I don't know. I don't know where some of this stuff comes from.
So I had Googled the guy that was on the leaked index.
Is it Pogue? Pogue?
Shoot, I don't know, Tommy. Now,
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know. I've seen
there
a lot of
there was a criminal defense attorney that was hired basically for a day, and I
Brett
said,
Gibson.
Okay, Gibson, that makes sense. And I said, well, that makes sense for his initial appearance. And then he said at his initial appearance, I want to retain private counsel. Okay, well, goodbye then. And so that guy then, goes on his merry way. And then Richard Allen is, searching for his private attorneys and then realizes, oh shit, this costs, this is going to cost me my life. And I mean, more than he could ever afford, and so he's then at the mercy of the court. So then he sends the letter to the court. But my question is, and it's a gray area from what I've read and what I've heard, again, that the safekeeping motion it's kind of like a gray area, and it's never been, I guess, kind of ruled upon or even talked about like in the courts in Indiana about Richard Allen, him saying, okay, I want to find private counsel. But then the court going on their own motion and saying, no, we need to move him to DOC. Did he need, representation?
No, I put a thing up showing that the judge has absolute power over his privileges. Privileges means where he is being held, phone calls, commissary, whatever you name it, the privileges he would get while he's in jail or wherever he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here, as a matter of fact, I'm going to read it to you. This is a little snippet out of the Indiana law. Give me just a second here.
Okay.
I got to pull it up real quick. Give me a second.
Is it what you posted?
Hold on. Let me find it. Where's it at?
I suck at this.
All right here. The court retains control over any privileges granted to the detainee. That means that she can do what the hell she wants to do when it comes to his safety. You don't need an attorney to fight for him to stay in the jail. If she believes that his safety is in jeopardy, she has every right to have a hearing without an attorney just to move him. Yeah. That is it.
Yeah, but it was actually Diener. Just it wasn't.
Well, Diener or whoever. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make a difference which judge it was. It's the fact the law says he has the right to do that.
Yeah, if it's
for safety, and that's where I was like, okay, at what point does safety, I guess, trump? Like, I don't know, like with the whole, I mean.
Well, you got to understand when it comes to two children, Scarlett, safety is a major concern for the detainee, because if you go into a jail and the people knew you just murdered two small children, likely chances are they're going to kill you in there.
Well, he's in county now, though.
Because they got him basically in lockdown by himself, away from everybody.
Exactly. He's in the same, like, isolation 24/7 as what he would be in.
But
like,
Carroll County doesn't have that. Carroll County didn't have that.
Yeah, he would have been in general population. He would have been eaten alive.
well, I mean, I guess they could put him in a cell. I mean, I don't know how the system works, but do they not have at all any segregation or isolation cells in Carroll County?
No,
No.
Okay.
no. This new jail might, but Carroll County, I think, can only hold like 30 inmates.
Yep. They don't even have a nurse on duty.
No, I mean, so it's basically just like a drunk tank.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good
Analogy.
yep.
analogy. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word.
That makes sense. No, I 100% get it. Okay.
You know, and they sent him to a place where they knew that he was going to get the mental help that he needed. I mean, Westville might not have been the best place from everything that I've heard, which I really can't.
I visited Westville, actually.
Well, my cousin was there for 18 years for armed robbery, so I never went up there to see him. But I have never been to a prison to visit anybody. No.
Well, I mean, personally, I just did for my criminal justice class. I took it in college. It was really interesting, and so I kind of pursued some of those courses. And I went to Valpo, and it's not too far from Westville, and we traveled up there. And I mean, I got to see where Allen actually is, like the prison within the prison is what Rozzy called it, and I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of accurate.
The shoe.
Yeah.
About the shoe.
My question is, and this isn't targeted at anyone like in particular, but why did people only care about Richard Allen if it's so bad in there? Where's everybody else speaking out about all the other inmates that are in there? Because after Allen got moved, it's like Ghost, Patrick Swayze, they don't care anymore. So I don't know. Seems weird to me, but
No, I get that argument.
They don't give a fuck now.
I mean,
does anybody know who the actor Fred Ward is?
Fred Ward, I've heard of him.
Somebody says that you look like the great actor Fred Ward. Never heard of him.
Oh yeah, he's the dad on oh shit.
Don't say Leave It to Beaver.
No. I've seen this guy's before famous role. He might have been the dad in.
Hold on, I gotta look him up now, guys. Try to say I look like somebody. Hold
on. He was in
Who's the
Tremors,
actor?
I think.
Who is the actor Fred Ward?
According to
Oh, okay, I know who he is.
Ward was an American
No, I don't look
actor.
nothing like him.
Same hair.
He was in Tremors.
Yeah. You do kind of look like him.
No, I don't.
I don't know.
I think you do. His face is more wrinkly, but I think I could see it.
Oh,
Younger.
thanks.
No, I'm saying no. I could like maybe like you were younger. Frank, you posted a picture on your Facebook like last year. You were like 18. You could pass.
That was my senior picture.
You came out of the womb with fucking speaking like that as an adult. You look like a damn adult then too. You probably never been carded in your life.
Oh yeah, and I think it's insulting when I get carded. I mean, all the gray in my beard and the gray in my hair, you can't tell I'm of legal age. Come on, now.
See, I think it's sketchy when I don't get carded.
Well, then at times I'm like, I feel honored that you carded me. Damn, I don't look old enough. Thank you.
If I don't shave, I don't get carded. But if I shave, I get carded everywhere.
I was at the liquor store and I didn't get carded. I had my ID out, and the lady's like, "Oh, I saw you last week, didn't I?" And I was like, "Okay."
you ladies in here are making me blush. Damn, stop it.
Oh,
My goodness. I'm not that handsome.
where's Jinx? Buttering your biscuits is what.
No, I talked to her earlier. She didn't know if her and her other half were going to watch a movie, but she said she was going to keep an eye on the chat just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Fee Marie, there's another one of my mods. It's been a while, miss. How you been?
I don't know, man. I'm just, man. I gotta give it to Nick because citing that case was a hell of a move. Like that was I don't know what I would call it, but that was.
I mean, I was a little shook. I was like, "Oh, damn!"
He cited. Not only did he cite your own case, he cited where the same guy you tried to call got denied too. That's. I gotta get.
Like,
that's a smart. That's good for somebody. They call him a kid and he's inexperienced. He nailed that one. So I don't know. Not much you can do about that.
Frosty. So, what are you like, obviously, I don't think with your work schedule you'll be able to go every day. What are you planning on? Like,
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'd probably say at least for like, maybe 9 or 10 days. I'll be there. I don't want to give away when I'm going, but
no,
I will be there 100%. I'll be there for some of it.
for me, I mean, I'm kind of interested in going and kind of trying to figure out when I want to go. And I think opening statements would be the best. I mean, kind of.
That's when.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to just hear the state's case. That's all I want to hear.
I mean,
Yeah, I
I'll
can't put myself through the fucking Baldwin and Rozzi show anymore.
I can't do it either.
I've seen enough. It's embarrassing.
Right.
It's they're a laughing joke in the courtroom, man. I swear
Oh,
to
it's
God,
so
they
bad.
are.
You ever seen whenever Andy asks a question and it gets shot down real quick, he puts his hands in his pockets and he looks down? He does it every time. I've noticed it's a trend. He gets shut down so quick and he looks down and he's got his glasses on.
He's like,
really...
I'm done.
Yeah. I know I make fun of these guys a lot, but like at the same time, I get that they're lawyers and they have a job to do and you have to put yourself in that situation.
It's a hard job.
I'm not, I'm not envy of them. Like I don't envy them. They have a hard job, but like at the same time, I can laugh at them whenever they do stuff like that.
But one I would never want to do. That's all I can say.
I get it. I get it.
I don't know. Like I just, man.
Hold on, somebody sent me a message.
Like, say they ever won. You're getting.
You ever watch the Medea movies?
Oh yes.
Where she goes, lawyers. I call them lawyers. I get it. I get that joke now. That took me so long. It took me 15 years to understand. I finally understand it.
Yes. But I mean, like, think about like, man, I just don't know that my conscience could do. I mean, like, you're sitting there and you're fighting for the, the constitutional rights and whatnot. But like, if the state doesn't have it, and this person gets off, how do you sleep at night as a defense attorney? Like, and
Baldwin has gotten some murder suspects off, and
and same with Hennessy.
Well, a friend of mine that lives here in the apartment complex, her baby daddy got charged with rape, and Baldwin represented him, and they had him nailed to the wall, and Baldwin got him off.
Ugh.
My buddy, well, he's not my buddy anymore, but you guys remember the Lake Monroe 2020 July 4th lynching case? You remember that? But it was a guy down here in Bloomington, and the people that supposedly did it were represented by Baldwin, and they called in. And Vox Booker used to be my friend. We're not friends anymore because he lied about a lot of shit. But yeah, that was a whole fiasco with both Baldwin and Hennessy there too. They're all over the state, man. They're all over the state.
Right. But are they okay? So I know like the state of Indiana doesn't have like a public like defender. I mean, they do, but they don't. Depending on the county. Does Baldwin? So the Caden Smith, was he a public defender for that case, or was he a private?
I believe he, because that kid was only 16. I think that was a public defender.
Right.
I think.
So
Don't quote me on that. I don't. The only thing I know about that case is I saw it on the news and I remember when it happened. I just didn't follow it because whenever like I know that they've got the person who did it, I don't really follow it.
No, I've only followed it through Murder Sheet, honestly, with the ballistics because it was interesting. It was because the trial court had said no, it's not allowed in. The state then, challenged that and said, okay, we want a motion in limine, or not a motion in limine. They interlocutory appeal. So they appealed it, interlocutory. Judge certified it, and then it was said from the appeal court, no, it is allowed in. And so then it was sent back to the trial court, and now the ballistics were in for the trial. So it was just very interesting.
The search warrant, Hennessy got the search warrant removed, and then they went to the Supreme Court. The prosecutor went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ruled that it was a lawful search, and they had reason to believe that the gun was in the house based off witness interviews. Or I don't know if I call them witness interviews, but like character, like people who knew him, he has guns. He has got, and then they interviewed multiple people, and they used that as their basis to execute the warrant, which is lawful. So.
Well, whatever happened to them saying that there was souvenirs? We know about the one pair of underwear and a sock. Now, back in the very beginning, we talked about locks of hair might have been taken from the girls. Has anybody heard anything since then about that?
Never. Not one time.
You said what?
At the very beginning, there was talk of possibly that he took some strands of hair or some locks of hair from one of the girls.
No, I don't think.
I've never heard that. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you're right, Route 661. I believe he was spooked by either Derek or Brad. One of the two spooked him, and that's why he got the hell out of there.
I think the phone rang.
Well, if
That
phone
might
rang,
that might be something to spook you. I don't know.
yeah,
That's
but
a good
any
point.
I mean, if he had enough common sense or whatever to be able to throw sticks on him, if he heard a phone, you best damn he was probably looking for that phone.
But why take it? I mean,
Evidence,
he doesn't think there's
Maybe.
anything on it, though.
huh?
He wouldn't think there was anything on it.
I mean, we just don't know. That's the whole point.
I've heard all kind of crazy rumors. I've heard that he took
That's
a
why
phone.
I try not to talk about this stuff unless we actually got facts on stuff like this.
Yeah, I
Because
don't even want. Yeah,
I respect that. I respect that, and I get that. So I won't go further. But privately, we can.
oh Lord, yeah, no, there's a lot to that, but I've heard all kind of shit, dude. It's at that point now where I'm just like, I don't know. I just want to get this over with. Like, let's hear it, lay it all out there, don't delay it. Balls to the wall if it's so easily defended.
Well, it's not delay. I mean, there's no delaying.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't think there's. Them filing for the jury to go to the crime scene shows me that they're planning on it. But I don't know. I just want it all. Like, if it's like, if the case is so weak, like against Allen, why are we pushing it back so far? So if, like, yeah, it's gonna look super suspicious if they delay it again. So I don't know. What point? How far along were we when they delayed it last time? We were only like a few days away, right?
like, yeah, it was just within a week.
Yep.
Because Aspen was in town and Hannah was
Tom
in town.
Webster.
Yeah, they were all in town.
No,
So yeah,
Tom was in town. For it wasn't the trial. It was like the 3-day or whatever hearings that were going to happen that got delayed.
CJK, who's blocked?
I don't know.
Because I would have to go into my studio and unblock them.
That's a pain in the ass, dude. That's why I took so many wrenches away. People were blocking people without me knowing.
Probably everyone in your channel was a freaking wrench.
According to what I'm being told, is that Judge Gold doesn't care about Columbus Day. They are still doing jury duty.
I agree with that. Columbus Day is like an elementary holiday. You get that off like
But it's a national holiday. It's a government holiday. That's why they're asking.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Okay, but she had also said that they were doing weekends. So my question is, are they still doing those Saturday days?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. They will be doing those.
Yep.
Even though she extended the trial.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
She only extended it out 2 weeks. Is all she extended out. Yeah.
That's a lot, though. I mean,
they're not going to use up all the time. I'm telling you that right now.
This is gonna be a 3-week trial.
I mean, for sure now.
At most, it's going to be no longer.
Oh my gosh, with the rulings, yes. Well, no, I don't know because, okay, I agree because I think that they have already put on what they could put on in terms of evidence, and so for them to put on the offer to prove, I'm not sure what else they could put on unless they're putting something on that is the exact same, and then the state's going to object and say, okay, we've already done this and this is a waste of our time and the jury's time. Judge will say, agreed, overruled, or sorry, sustained. Right.
And I got a question for everybody. Who believes that the visit to the crime scene is going to get denied?
I do, only because, well, okay, that's a double. That depends. Like, okay, so if we're gonna go like all the way down to Logan's property, no, that will get denied. But if they like maybe meet in the middle, like, yeah, you can go to the bridge and like you can check out the trails and stuff. But like going down to the actual, like, yeah, no way.
I think they'll be denied.
I do too. Due to the fact is, before Nick even filed his response yesterday, I've had 2 or 3 lives. We had discussed this. And some of the key points to why it wasn't a good idea. Okay, security issues, like V. Marie says, what's going to keep people from flying drones over the area trying to get glimpses of the jury when they're under sequester? You see what I'm saying? Second of all, you're going to have dangerous elements in in the woods. It's going to be wet. Leaves are going to be on the ground. You're going to have to go up and down hills. You don't know if you're going to have people on the jury that have some type of disability that prevents them from climbing or whatever they have to do to get down to the crime scene, or even walking the trail head itself to the higher bridge could be difficult for some of these jurors. That's why I believe she will deny all of it.
I agree because, okay, not only that, but because of the people that are going to be on this
Be
jury.
right back, guys. Go ahead.
Okay. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the people that are going to be on this jury, okay, if you're going to be sequestered, you have to know that beforehand, right? And as a mother, like for myself, I cannot be sequestered. Like, I have to be able to be there for my kid and have connection if something went wrong, yeah, what have you. So the people that are going to be on this jury, in my opinion, if you're going to be sequestered, they're either not going to have kids, they're not going to have family, or they're going to be older and not have,
You can do it, Bubba's.
played. And so if they're going to be older and not have like a job or, family they're caring for at that time, they're not going to be able to make the walk down there, even though you can access it through the cemetery. But I don't think that is even relevant. Why take them there if you have drugs?
Time out.
If you can, okay.
Mel, Cold Truth's in the house. Can we send some prayers to her and her father? Her father is in really bad shape in South Carolina. I mean, he's in bad shape, guys. We need as many prayers sent to her and her family as possible. So if you can, please send some prayers to Cold Truth. Okay, go ahead, Scarlett.
No, I just want to say that I am thinking of him because I have seen her posts and.
Yeah, very sad. Yeah, we're thinking about you, Mel. We love you.
Yes.
Hey, Dan, don't come in here starting shit, dude. I'm telling you that right now, or you'll be blocked again. That's Dan.
Yeah, he's been good, I think.
Well, he got blocked yesterday, and the only way he can get through is by donating to the channel.
Don't block.
I'm not gonna. I'm just warning him because I know who he is and what he does.
No, he's been good.
Yeah, Dan's all right. I mean,
he's been good tonight. He's been good tonight.
Some people have their thought, but he's always been good to me. So
that's why he came under Mark Ronald McDonald Bear Jew, because he's blocked under Bear Jew.
That's a joke. And somebody called Mark Ronald. I can't remember who it was, but no, it's a joke. I mean, he's all right.
I still have those photos, Mustang. It was pareidolia. Remember at the very beginning, Tommy, where me and Randy took those pictures of Cheyenne on the bridge and expanded the photo out underneath the north end of the bridge, and it looked like there was a couple people standing under there.
I mean, yeah. I never saw. I mean, I saw it, but I never came to that. It's just blurry picture to me. I don't know. I mean, it's like a Sasquatch picture. It's always blurry, Yeah. I don't know. I've never. I don't know. I've just never really got into that kind of stuff with this case. I don't know. The pareidolia stuff is wild.
Osbrook is just another scarecrow.
Oh, dude, I said something the other night that made him so mad that he unblocked Mark and told him to tell me to keep my mouth shut, and I called him out because he knows he's lying, and I called him out for it, and he got real triggered.
We got some scrubs in the chat. I've got 150 people in chat and only got 10 likes. I need people to go hit that like. It helps my average.
No way. Hold on. No, I don't believe that. Are you serious?
I just checked.
Well,
I got my laptop up.
You guys got to remind me. You have 69 likes. I don't even want to touch
now. I do. Yeah. I just refreshed my page.
Should I ruin it and go to 70? We'll go to 70. Oh, that's inappropriate. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Gail.
I was one like away from being number 69. What the hell?
Let's keep it at 69.
That's already up.
Hey, that's my favorite number, guys. That's the year.
I was number 70. I ruined it. So
born in the summer of '69.
Buzzkill.
My favorite number.
I bet.
That's the way I want to go out.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Sorry, guys. You guys get to talking like that in here. Don't expect me to keep my mouth shut.
Oh no.
That's my fault. I
That's
made an
fair.
inappropriate
Fair.
joke. I'm a child, but I am a child. So
Yeah, you're a youngin. Both of you guys are youngins compared to me.
Yeah, I'm about
I'll be 30 here in about a month.
You're my husband's age.
Oh my God, you guys are young bucks.
Yeah.
My God, I
I
wish I
don't
was
feel
your
it.
age again.
I just turned 29 this year. It's September 16th.
I got about 8 months on it. Yeah, I was at dinner with a buddy of ours today, and we sat down for so long. I stood up, I was limping. He's like, "Why are you limping?" I'm like, "Oh, I got fucking blisters all over my feet. My knees hurt. Like, I'm on my feet all damn day." No, I'm after work. I stand around for 11 hours a day. I walk around.
Okay, well, you said you're sitting down with your buddy.
No. Yeah, no. If I sit down too long, I can't. Like, it's like it's like a cold starting a car or something.
I gotcha.
Whenever you start a car and it's cold, no matter how many cylinders your car is, it's super loud when you start it cold.
You're just puffing those fumes. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
What is he talking about? References the two amigos trying to falsely dox a friend. I have no clue.
Yeah, no,
we're not going there.
No, he's yeah, I know who he's talking. It's two people that we don't like. He's two people tried to dox Mark and they got his name wrong because they're stupid.
Dox him? What? How do you?
Even though his name's already out there, but
I was like, how are we doxed?
No, he's talking about other people that tried to do that to Mark.
I think the tentacles was all the different areas that they had to go to, all the rabbit holes they had to go down to. I believe that's what the tentacles were.
So I think the tentacles were actually Keegan Klein. Honestly, I do.
He's one of the rabbit holes.
Blade.
Keegan Klein, Blue.
Yes.
Black.
And I think that it was just proven that at the time they didn't know, and they arrested Richard Allen, and the tentacles were okay. We have to verify. We need to see if there was any connection, digital connection, like through forensics, and it was testified to in court. I mean, I'm pretty sure whoever Turbo, wherever you are, Aspen, Connor, all of them. I listened to all their videos, and basically they, at least Turbo and Aspen, said that there was no digital or forensic, like they could not digitally connect forensically Richard Allen to the Kleins at all.
And see, that's I totally believe that.
Yeah.
But was there anything in the bones when it came to diddling, if you understand what I'm saying?
No, I know, and I don't think that there was, because in the wasn't Holman deposed, or Liggett or whoever deposed on that, and they had said no, there was nothing that they could find
early on in 2022 before they even got a lot of the stuff back. But
again, that was worded. Okay.
Yeah, it was worded in a very particular way, and I mean, Mark actually talked about this. They said there's nothing tying him to the crime scene, but the CPS building isn't the crime scene. I think they can put him there.
Right, but we're talking to diddling.
Oh no, I don't think no. I've heard rumors of that, but I feel like he would have been at this point. I feel like
he would have been charged with CSAM at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Well, I agree, but I just wanted to know if anybody had heard that anything had ever been found or remotely close to it.
No,
I've heard of it. I don't know. I mean, it could be something they're keeping until trial, and then they're gonna use it to tie him. I don't know, but other than that, I can't think of any reason.
Charge him? I don't know. I just feel like tack on the charges now and get it over with.
I mean, what's the point? What's the point?
Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't know. This is not ordinary in any sense.
Because I'll give you prime examples. Some of the serial killers that have been caught after they've been like the Golden State Killer. Mm-hmm. They convicted him. He went to prison, and they found that he killed somebody else. They didn't even bother to try him for that case because he was going to be in prison for the rest of his life anyway.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but I mean, but that's sad for the victim, I think.
Well, I mean, at least they named the person they know who did it. I mean, I get. I mean, justice has already been served to him for the other families. I understand that the families that didn't get justice, where they did find out he did it, but they didn't prosecute him for it. It would just been, to me, that they're looking at money wise. Why waste this money when we know he's guilty?
Oh, I totally get that.
Could
And
be.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I've never really followed a trial this closely, so I don't really know about all that. I mean,
Now I got people calling me Fred Gwynn.
who?
Fred Gwynn. He played the Frankenstein in the Munsters.
Oh,
He also played the old man in Pet Cemetery that lived across the street.
My little human loves your Frankenstein, and she wants to be a Franken ketchup. I don't know. She loves ketchup, and so she wants to be like Frankenstein ketchup, green on one side, red on the other. But she loves seeing your Frankenstein when we watch you.
That's awesome.
Frank's getting game, and now I'm not getting no game.
Ah,
I'm just an old man talking. That's all I'm doing, and listening and trying to learn. Patrick Swayze.
also
Far
played the judge
Frederick.
in My Cousin Vinny. Ha!
Oh, you're talking about
Fred
Mr.
Gwynn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I like that.
It's good to see you too, V. I know you've been pretty busy. Jason Voorhees is here. Oh, boy. Oh,
Jason
boy.
Voorhees.
It's that time of the year, isn't it?
Oh God, and
He's been around for a minute.
Delphi Dummies is here. Don't click anything.
Delphi Dummies is in here.
Mute your mics. It's the best thing you can do.
Mute now.
Oh, he's recording us right now because he'll go make videos. I like the one he did with me with Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah.
Maybe got back. That was a damn good one he did.
Hi, dummies. How are you, buddy?
He's got a good sense of humor.
Who?
Dummies. He's
Dummies.
freaking yeah. He's like, I don't know. He's like slapstick funny, like shove a banana in your tailpipe kind of fucking comedy.
Oh God, yes, yes, Delphi Dummies could make a saint off of me, or could make a fortune off of me. Yeah, that's true.
There was no separate defense fund, V. Marie. They both were hands in the pot for the $2.1 million that was allocated for the case.
No.
I want to know what happened to all those people's money. That Henderson,
Oh, that money.
Yeah, the
that money's
okay.
probably gone. That money's on his fucking booze fund.
Yep.
bro,
Yep.
that's for Perlmutter. That was for Perlmutter. Mutter, whoever.
Oh shit! $44,000 for Pearl Nut. Oh my god! If I spend that much money and the best I get is her,
And she's not even a damn expert.
But she trains the FBI.
Idiot.
I don't
Trains
give a
the
damn
FBI,
what she
but the
trains.
She trains the FBI, but the FBI says that Delphi wasn't what she said.
I knew you were gonna
I call it full-blooded ignorance is what I call the FBI. When it comes to her, she fucking gets up on that stand talking about, oh, there was a ritualistic killing back in 2020. Who was it?
The Stevensons, right?
No. Who was it? She didn't know that. Where did it happen at? She didn't even know that. So why would you say that shit on the stand if you don't have your information?
That's embarrassing. That's tough.
And Nick, fucking Nick sitting there giggling his ass off about it.
I wouldn't be able to hold it. I'd be right.
Rosie's fucking blowing out fucking fire out his ears because of the shit.
It's so bad. I don't understand how
when Dr. Walla fucking bit back into his ass during those hearings, I was like, get him, girl. Shit, get him.
But didn't Baldwin direct her? And did he like recross or redirect after Nick crossed Perlmutter?
I didn't see Perlmutter because that was on the Thursday.
Yeah, I didn't see her either. Thank God I didn't, because apparently it was like freaking 4 hours long.
Real? Oh man, I would have
I
loved.
would have been up and out of there about an hour and a half in.
I mean, when you get Dr. Walla up on the stand and she's supposed to be a defense witness and she turns against you, that ought to tell you something about your case.
No, I heard somewhere that the Stevenson's thing was a rumor. I have that. That's not substantiated. I just heard somebody say that.
Stevenson, what? What are you talking about?
It's a case down in Kentucky.
Yeah,
Ohio.
someone said they think Pearl Nutter is a witness for fucking Stevenson's, and that's just
no. She said it was in the Virgin Islands.
Oh, I don't.
Well,
right?
that's still a property of the United States.
Well, I understand. That's what she said. She had a case going on, and that was not completed yet or resolved or what have you. It was still on the docket, but wasn't that in the Virgin Islands?
I mean, if it was on the docket or not, she still should have known who the individual was that was killed, where it happened at. She couldn't even name none of that stuff.
I don't think she could though because it was an active case.
You could still name the case.
Oh, I don't know.
They're not going to protect the case from a witness. I mean, that's testifying. She could say, "Well, it was this person that was murdered."
Well, she could have, but I don't think she wanted to, just because it was pending.
I don't know. I just know that I don't know. I didn't take anything she said very seriously from my reading. I didn't hear. I wasn't there. I just read it. I'm like, this is not real life.
Wouldn't you use magical thinking instead of compared to rational? That's where I drew the line.
That's true.
And I still believe that Baldwin was behind leaking the crime scene photos, and nobody's going to tell me different.
I think they damn near know he was, because they said they had iCloud messages between him and Westerman, and I thought that was for sure going to get him on contempt. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the facts of the case against Allen, so I don't really care who's representing him. If the facts lay out what really happened, then it shouldn't really matter who's, you know what I mean? I don't really care. Put Bill Cosby as his lawyer. I don't give a shit who it is.
Right.
It's a bad.
We're getting to the Diddy stuff now. They're trying to put Bill Cosby, all of them involved with him now.
Are you serious? That was
yeah.
No, I don't
know.
You saw Chris Todd?
Yeah.
Chris Todd all over the fucking news because he wrote that memoir.
Well,
Chris Todd?
Yeah.
That Kim Porter, how you say her name? Kim Porter. Kim Porter. She lied about writing that book, and it turned out to be Chris Todd who really wrote it.
Oh my!
He's all over the news now. He probably won't touch Delphi again. He's got it made.
What?
Yeah. He's a fucking jackass anyway.
He is. He's a jackass, but he's got it made now.
He's nuts.
He don't need to touch Delphi again. He's got that Diddy money now.
Peach Train, we got Scarlet Letter up on panel with us. She's been new to the crew here the last month or so.
New to the crew, but not new to the case, I should say.
Right.
Are you Troll Farm? I'm just kidding.
Me?
I'm kidding. No, you're talking to me, so you're automatically going to get called Troll Farm. So I apologize in advance, but it's fun. We have fun around here.
Yeah. But hey, guys, we've been at it for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I got to go to bed soon. Oh, dude, I freaking got to make their Pittsburgh Steelers theme because they try to welcome everybody, and I hate I hate the Steelers, but I got to be nice to them and make them these little freaking.
Come on. We got Justin. You got Justin Fields. Like that.
Yeah.
He's my backup on my fantasy.
We had him last year for the Bears.
Are you a Bears fan?
I am here in Northwest Indiana. Hell yeah, I'm a Bears fan.
Oh Lord. Well, you're in the wrong chat. Time to go. I'm just kidding.
I grew up in Frankfurt. Okay, I grew up in Frankfurt, Indiana, Central Indiana. I grew up a Colts fan, but we don't get that. We don't get the Colts games up here, so it's just.
What do you mean you don't get the Colts games?
What?
We don't. Not up in Northwest Indiana. You don't. You get the Bears. We get Chicago.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. It's nuts. Yeah, I mean
that sucks. The
right.
Bears are garbage. Well, the Bears, they're not so bad this year, but when was the last time they were before this year? I can't remember.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a picture, Tommy, of the O line on this play. Just one thing. This one play against the Colts last week.
Oh God!
We're 4 out of 5 linemen were on the ground. Yeah, I remember that play. I know exactly what you're talking about because I saw it. I was there. I was laughing at him.
I mean, what?
I'm getting ready to shut her down, guys. I want to thank the people who supported the live tonight. Queen of Oasis, Carrie Summers, Dan, and Purple Haze. Everybody, thank you for the super stickers and chats. It's greatly appreciated. And if you guys are still wanting to donate, anything is welcome. There's my Cash App. Still trying to get everything together for the trial. So every little bit helps. Or you can also donate to my Buy Me a Coffee. And it all goes straight to my Cash App. And to the mods that are in the chat. Did a wonderful job tonight, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Frank.
No problem, Scarlett. Thomas.
Thanks for having me, too.
Anytime. But you guys know what time it is?
Oh, yeah.
Peace
out.
One
love, guys. Good night. Love y'all.
Good night. Love
Good
you
night,
guys,
guys.
too.
Good night.